Alrighty, fellas. How you doing? How you doing, Nathan? How we living? How we vibing on this Saturday afternoon? I was about to say on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, it's also the afternoon now. We have obviously our 5 bets to go over, but we're going to be yapping about every game so far as we normally do on the previews. Twig, how we doing? As we normally do on the previews. So we're going to go over every game. We're going to go over the live odds of those games. I should probably pull those up. FanDuel Sportsbook. I can't show them on the screen, but I can yap about them. Got a text from the big man on Underdog, so can't do that, but we will be still yapping about them. Anyway, Parker, how we doing? What's going on? We're living. Jacksonville, Chicago, 9:30 game. We have an early game. JMO and I do have our minus 500 bet for that, and we will be going over that as well. Spread's only 1.5 in favor of Jacksonville. So it's a pick 'em, pretty much. Money line's tight. Money line doesn't... Yeah, it's tight. And the over-under is 44.5, which is kind of high for a London game. As we know, traditionally, London games are lower-scoring games. So lean the lower there, of course. I'm going to take the Jacksonville side. They have it figured out in London. They've played the most games in London out of any NFL team so far. And Trevor alone has played in London more than most quarterbacks in the NFL right now, which is ironic as he still feels super young. Caleb, his first time in London. Might be the vibes might be a little too high for them right now. Coming off a big dub. Jacksonville also got their first dub of the season. Chicago is one of the best defenses in the league, but they are without one of their best safeties, so we do have to take note of that. Oop, well, just closed it. Now we're back. Doing pretty splendid. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. I'm doing fantastic today. Just got a lot of work to get done. Trevor passing yards feels solid. The only problem is the Chicago secondary, again, is very good, but again, when you're without one of your safeties, it is tough. The way I would lean, though, Jacksonville does give the most passing yards in the league, which means DJ Moore should have a day, you would think. This is the one I would lean. I don't really have a play for this game that I love, because just it's a London game. They always feel so wishy-washy. Like, even picking the minus 150 was like a sweat for us. Like, you would think, oh, Jacksonville's one of the worst rush defenses. You take DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has kind of stunk outside of, like, the past 2 weeks. And do I believe the past 2 weeks? No. Brian Thomas Jr. has been, like, a lock, but now he's going again against a great defense. Evan Ingram's back from injury. First game back. How is he going to do? Tank looks great, but ETN still exists. So it creates a lot of problems. There's just not a lot of great betting value here outside of, like, spreads and money lines. If anything, I'm taking the pick 'em on Jacksonville. We ride till we die. 1.5 feels great. 1.5 feels fantastic. I'm going to lean there. If anything, lean otherwise DJ Moore. That's really all I got for the London game. Should be good to wake up and see some football. Washington versus Baltimore. Spread of this game is 6.5. That's a far spread for a Washington team that's red hot right now. I'd have to lean Washington there on the spread side of things. I think they cover 6. I think they still lose, but I think they cover. Getting their money line at value of 240, feels hot. That feels hot. Like, that feels great. 240 for a team that's fucking firing on all cylinders. 51.5 is the total of this game. Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. Expecting a ton of offense out of this game. I feel like the under, though, feels great. Like, I don't think there's actually going to be a ton of offense. I think it's just all hypothetical. So we'll see what happens. By the way, the odds are they think Lamar and Baltimore are going to run away with this one. If anything, I'll lean Derrick Henry rushing yards. This Washington defense has just been rough. But the Washington pass defense has been worse, so you could look Zay Flowers. But again, if they're going to win this game, they're probably going to do it on the ground first. Zay Flowers might not be needed a lot in this game, but his reception line's at 5, which makes you feel like very iffy about that. I think if anything, I'll lean probably Zay Flowers, higher receiving yards. Mark Andrews, like, I feel like you could bet his lower every game and feel comfortable. Feel comfortable about it. Terry's been great so far, but this Baltimore secondary, I just don't really want to mess with as of right now. If anything else, I would love to take the Tucker kicking points. Unless he's a kick a 50-yarder, then we're cooked. But I think otherwise he should be pretty good there. Yeah, it's really all I got for this game. Don't really love the quarterback values here. The passing line is just a little bit high for Jaden for me to take. And attempts line I don't love either, but I don't love it enough to defer to under it. So, yeah, blah. Kind of just fading everything there. And Lamar's lines have been set so goddamn good this season, it, like, hurts the soul. He's, like, always so close to all of his lines. I don't feel like sweating that out. If I were to do anything, though, it would probably be the higher on rushing yards versus Washington defense, who's going to get damn near no pass rush. Give Lamar a lot of time to scramble, make some room for himself. How you guys feeling? Murray or Fields? Also pick one. Deontay, Wandale, or Shaheed. 10-man PPR. Started Ayuk already. Gave me a dud. That's Ayuk. Ayuk kind of is a dud this year. He was a massive sell high after last week. Love the Justin Tucker kicking points. Facts, we're on the same page. Also, you took Zay Flowers. Wow, we're definitely on the same page. Murray or Fields? I'm leaning Murray in that game. That's probably going to be a shootout. And I'm picking Deontay over Wandale and Shaheed. I think Deontay's a big game this week, which we'll get to coming up. So we keep it pushing here. Moving to Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Spread of this game is 3.5. Really? With Spencer Rattler, I feel like that's a trap. Is Rattler going to come out and fucking sling the rock? Is his interception lineup? No. It's probably so high. Damn. All right, if anything, I'm taking Bake, though. This New Orleans Saints team has been cooked by the quarterbacks the past few games. Baker looks like it's going to be a fucking fiery game for him, per usual. I think they destroy this game, though. I also love Bucky getting a full workload. Love it. Like, he should be taking the RB1 role right after this. Like, this should be Bucky Irving's RB1 from here on out. Straight up. Shouldn't even have to think about it. I don't love any of the Saints side of things. If anything, I'm fading. They said they're going to pepper Chris Olave. I don't know how much I fucking believe that. They saw an interview, and it was like, Rattler's like, I got to target him when he's on the field. I got to look for him. It's like, you're capping out your ass. All right, we'll keep it pushing. But if anything, money line and props wise, the over-under is only 41.5. I'm taking Baker higher and Bucky higher because I love this Bucs offense in this matchup. Again, all these are lean so far. I don't really have official plays in any of these games yet. If I were to take a money line side, I would definitely be leaning the Bucs there, minus 3.5. I'm taking it with the hook. I think they still get it done. I think they win by like 6 or 7 in this one. Next game is Arizona Green Bay. All right, B-Rob is out. Will that affect Jaden rush total? I think if anything, that helps his rush total. But Eckler is like sneaky good value there. I mean, if you have him in fantasy, he's great value. He's going to catch a ton of PPR points there. But I think Jaden will definitely run a little bit more. Spencer could be the future. Right. Mooney or Pickens? Mooney. Pretty sure Rachaad White's out this game. He is. He's getting a full workload for Bucky then. Bucky TDs for sure. The goal line? Yeah, Bucky TD feels great. Does he get a Volchi for that now? No Volchi's crazy. Diabolical work by them. And they don't have this touchdown score up right now. I can see what his odds are for to score a touchdown. He is plus 100 anytime touchdown, so the books know just as well as we do that he's going to find his way into the end zone this weekend. But we're going to keep it pushing here. Again, I don't love this game. Backup quarterback versus Bake. Bake's going to fucking cook. Cleveland. Philly, though. Now we got something rocking. I do have a play in this game. Spread of this is 8.5. I would lay the points with Deshaun here. Nah, this team's so bad. I'm taking Philly. I don't even care. Minus 8.5 for Philadelphia. I'd take that side all day. Deshaun just stinks. So bad. Oh, sorry. He's just so bad. But we'll keep pushing. So the play I like in this game is Saquon Barkley. He's all the way up to 85.5. If you took it on Pickett, you got him at 81.5 rush yards. Make sure to use code BDG when you sign up on Pickett. You'll be able to tail all of our bets. You'll be able to see as soon as I place the bet for the odds I placed it at, for the line I take it at. So you'll be able to get the best value on your props because I place these earlier in the week so I can make videos on them later in the week and talk about them in depth and detail. But we can look at his props.cash right now if we're going to cook. Again, if you're not on props.cash, use code GUT25. You'll get a free 25% off your first month. And we'll keep it pushing. But I'm taking it. I took it at 81.5. So we'll just scroll down there. He's averaging 108 yards per game right now. Hit this in all 4 games so far. Now he goes against the Cleveland defense that is shockingly bad versus the running game. And I'll pull up my notes here right now so you guys can just have a little bit more numbers behind what I'm saying. Cleveland ranks 10th in rush attempts so far this season, and they allow the 7th most rushing yards, 141.6 per game, which is nuts. And they allow the 4th highest yards per attempt at 5.1, while Saquon's having his best season in yards per attempt, as well as he's having his best career mark right now at yards before contact at 2.6. So he's rushing for almost 3 yards before he's even getting touched, which is nuts. He's having a crazy year. He's having just a career year. 6 of 7 running backs have hit this against Cleveland. Have hit over the rush, not this line, over the rushing totals, the rushing lines against Cleveland. So I think Saquon continues that trend, and we keep it cooking here. Locked at 81 up early the week, too. Love that, Matt. Love that. Devontae Smith tutty in this game. Bucky and Olave first tud. Ooh. I genuinely don't know if New Orleans scores. Like, I want to think so, but like they might be like one of those games where they get 3 field goals and you're happy. Devontae Smith touchdown in the game. I think that could happen. I like AJ Brown more, but yeah. Watson under easy, right? You would think so. Yeah. JMO and I made a betting video. JMO made the betting video, and he was like, I suck at betting, and then he took all lines that he thinks are going to go lower, and he took their hires. One of them was Deshaun Watson. I think he's definitely going to go lower. But the Eagles defense does suck, so it's kind of weary of if he's going to have a bounce back game, it could be against this horrible secondary. But against the D line, I don't think so. I think he's lower. What's his sack line at? Yeah, that's higher for sure. You could lock that one in. 3.5 sacks feels great. Feels great. I miss prime Watson. I miss when he was good and was competitive in games. Now he's not. We take Saquon. Kyler Murray pass yards, I feel great about too. Only a 209 versus this Green Bay defense has allowed to be gashed against quarterbacks this season. Same thing with Jordan Love. Only 256. He's been slinging the rock this season. Obviously, he's been down in a few games, which has changed that for sure. But I think he can go over his pass mark as well, as it just got adjusted. Marv, I like the lower on if I'm going to take anything. Again, Jair's probably going to shadow him most of the game. Jair's just really fucking good at football. I'm going to take lower on there on Marv. Pair that with the higher on Trey. I think Trey's going to have a big game in the middle of the field versus Green Bay defense. And I think he can have one of his best days of the season so far against these Green Bay defense. I also was looking at Jaden Reed receiving yards. I took that last week, but I think if I were to do anything, I would go to Wicks, which I'm not seeing. I don't see Wicks on here. Damn. What is Wicks' line? Let's look. Wicks. Wicks is receiving yards is not up. Is Wicks playing? Is he out? There's no way he's out, right? Injuries. Green Bay wide receiver Christian Watson's questionable, but Wicks just don't got lines up. Anyone here? Anyone? No? That's weird. I feel like I liked him in this matchup. But, I mean, no lines out for him right now. So it looks like, well, if I were to lean anything, then I would lean Jaden Reed. But, yeah, that's all I got for that game. That stinks. Kind of wanted to see Wicks' lines. All right, but now we're going to Houston, New England. Let's look at this. Oh, the spread for that game, by the way, because I did not say that earlier. Arizona, Green Bay, 5.5. I would lean the Arizona side. Coming off a hot game versus the Niners, getting a dub there. I think they could do almost the same with the Packers. I think they're going to have a big game over under 47.5. I'm leaning the over in that game. Whew. Excuse me. In this game, Drake May, first game as a rookie, is going to be going against a tough Houston defense. Not going to bode well for him. Taking the higher on Tank Dell receiving yards. His receiving line has gone back and forth all week. It's been down to 51.5 all the way up to 57.5. We're taking him here at 52.5. I think I took him on pick it at 55.5. I like anyone that's range. I think he gets 60 yards. His line is set at 7 targets. Obviously, this year he's been underwhelming, but there have been some positives to take away, especially now with no Nico Collins. That's the biggest takeaway. And the Patriots have allowed the 7th most passing yards this season and the 11th most passing attempts. So he should see the attempts, should see the yards. Not only that, but this is one of the best run defenses, ironically, as they've been bad in the NFL, which should set up a big passing day. So all I have is Wick's TD line. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's up with Wicks. But he's run 90% of routes with Nico out. And again, this defense is great against the run. Joe Mixon's coming off an injury. I think they lean into the pass more. I think Tank could have a big day. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to be over Stephon Diggs for most of the game. So we take Tank and we roll with it. What can you put? This game is like the biggest stay away game I've ever seen in my life. I ain't touching any side of this game. Sorry, I just don't want any parts of it. I can look at the spread, though. The spread is 2.5, and the over-under is 42. If these teams score 42 points, unless Flacco comes in, I'll be baffled. Like, I will be actually shocked. I'm slamming the lower on that. Yeah, 42.5 is just too high. Anyone have props on that game? Anyone have props on the Tennessee game? Because I don't like anything. I don't think both quarterbacks are bad, which sets up bad wide receiver lines. And the running backs are going to be not Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be Trey Sermon, Tyler Goodson, something like that. And then Pollard could have a big day, though. If I were to lean anything, it probably would be Pollard. Yeah, I have no idea about Wicks. Yeah, kind of cooked. But we'll keep it pushing, though. We'll move to the Pittsburgh-Las Vegas game. Aiden O'Connell's taking the helm there. And this Justin Fields Steelers offense is going to look very similar. Pickens is like having his hissy fits and I don't want to be here type vibes. Jaylen Warren's making his return, which makes me feel great about Najee's lower. Actually, lower on rushing attempts might be better. I think Jaylen Warren's going to get some work in. I think he's going to be able to get some touches in. He's not going to be full workload this week, but I think you'll see a good volume there. But I don't have any official plays for this game for lean. I think that's where I would go. What's the spread? 3? Ooh, 3 flat. Ooh. If it was 2.5, oh, man. I think Raiders upset. Give me Aiden O'Connell and the boys. Give me the scrappy Raiders. They don't even need Devontae Adams for this over to be 36.5. All right, we move on to the Chargers versus Denver. If I'm going to take anything, it's going to be JK with no Gus Edwards now. Like, he's just going to get fed. I think he's going to go over on his line. If I were to take anything, it'd be under on Quentin Johnston. He's going to be the outside receiver on almost every single route, and that's where Pat Surtain lies. We'll be comfortable with Quentin Johnston getting locked up by Pat Surtain. Those are the 2 plays there. Nothing really else. Josh Palmer might make his return. He's been absolute dud, done fucking nothing this year. So, moving to Detroit and Dallas, I do have 2 plays in this game, starting with Jahmyr Gibbs over 60.5 rushing yards. If you saw it on Picky, you got a 55.5 rushing yards. So we got value there. And I have a lot of numbers to back this one up. This is my play of the day. I like Jahmyr Gibbs and I like David Montgomery. They're both great. He's hit this in 3 or 4 games, averaging 71.3 rushing yards per game. Gibbs has also seen 11-plus rushing attempts in each game, averaging 13.5 attempts per game, which is a ton of volume for Gibbs. That's what we love to see. He's also recorded a success rate of only 39% this season. But what he's lacked in the consistency, he's made up for in explosiveness, having the 6th highest explosive run rate at 14 percent, which is, again, the 6th highest in the NFL. Compared to Montgomery, who's only in the 19th. So he's doing a little bit different styles there than Montgomery. And they also have the 4th highest rushing success rate under center this season. So they're having a ton of success. Gibson alone has the highest in the entire league EPA per carry this season. Yo, can we stop with the Saquon shit? Thanks. So Gibbs is absolutely cooking, and this Dallas defense has been absolutely shredded versus the run so far this season. So combine those two, and you make a pretty good recipe to go over. The other one I'll just hop straight into is the Jalen Tolbert pick, who's at 44.5 receiving yards. I think I got him at 43, 43.5, so it's only one difference. I take that all day. 43.5 receiving yards. Obviously, no Brandon Cooks. Saw 10 targets last game. Now goes against the face of passing defense in Detroit. That is the 5th most receiving yards per game. Now, they tend to shadow CeeDee Lamb with 2 over top. They did the same with DK. Didn't really work with DK. But they like to shadow safety over top. I think they'll do that with CD. Limiting CD's targets a little bit more and opening up a higher volume for Jalen Tolbert, like we saw with Lockett, like we saw with JSN in that game. I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities in the middle of the field for Tolbert as well. He ran 90% of routes last week, which leads me to believe he'll have a similar path to targets this week. And Dak's pass line is at 38 pass attempts. If I can scroll up fast enough. Yeah, so he's going to throw the ball a ton. They're expecting him to throw the ball a ton, and if they do throw the ball a ton, it's going to be to Jalen Tolbert. And I think 44.5 receiving yards is just too low for him. Sorry, I'm catching back up on chat now. It says he's not injured at all. Yeah, I don't know. What about Ridley? Ridley, I don't trust Will Levis in the slightest. Took Pollard over? Yeah, that's fine. Pollard over. Dobbins anytime is a lock. Facts. Did you do the minus 500 bet yet? I did for our 9:30 game. I did not. We and JMO did not make one for the 1 o'clock games yet. As we wait to see if we hit the first one first. But for the 9:30 games, our minus 500 bet is Trevor Lawrence over 150 passing yards and DJ Moore over 25 receiving yards. Combine those two, and you get we got minus 478 on the slip. So it's about minus 500. So take it as you want. That's a minus 500 play for you, Trippy. That's what we got rocking. I'll post a slip on Twitter as well. I plan on making a TikTok video about it, but we have a lot of TikToks going out today, so I might change that. I don't know. I should have something out for it, but it's definitely going to be on Twitter for sure. So if you want to see the exact slip, it will be on there. And you can just see it on Pickett. It's on Pickett as well. So Nick's slip for Idiot League Mates isn't on Pickett. He might not have just updated his Pickett. I can't search from here on the computer. He also might not have placed it. He might not got everyone's bets yet. So it might be out a little bit later today or tomorrow morning. Yeah, Dallas, Detroit, though. That's all I got for those. That's 2 plays I have for that. Atlanta, Carolina. Going into it, like I said earlier, I don't really love the Atlanta side of things because it's mainly rushing that you want to take against Carolina. Kirk O'Chains could have a big day. You could take him as well, just coming off a 500 game, which kind of makes me more weary of him. But I would lean Bijan, but Bijan's been so just mid that it's hard for me to take it, but I would take this if I were to take anything on the Atlanta side of things. But I am going to take Deontay Johnson, higher than 61.5 receiving yards. Call me biased, call me whatever you need. But right now, AJ Terrell's playing like dog shit, which also makes me sad because I'm a Clemson fan. But he has been, so we're going to take advantage. AJ Terrell's allowed 13 receptions for 139 receiving yards on 17 targets this season. That is the highest completion percentage among any cornerback in the entire NFL with at least 10 targets. Not only that, but Deontay Johnson's total the team high in target share of 27.4% and air yard share of 40% for the Panthers this season. So he's dominating the Panthers' targets and air yards. So he's seeing pretty much everything you need to. Xavier Leggett is a question mark right now. Might be good, might not be. He's right now placing like he's going to play, so we'll see. But even if he's not, even if he is, I think Deontay's going to bounce back with the Red Rocket this game. He's probably going to have another 8 for 80 type of game, and he's going to easily smash over this line against an AJ Terrell who is struggling right now. And Atlanta also has allowed a good amount of passing yards over the past few games, so we lean that over every single time. That's the only play I do have for this game. Touchdown-wise, if you're looking for anytime touchdowns, I would go Bijan. I think he scores this time finally. I think he finally gets in the end zone. And I'll go Deontay Johnson, who I also think will find the end zone as he is insane for target share in the red zone. He's been targeted 9 out of his 10 red zone targets in the end zone, which is nuts. Panthers quarterbacks have just thrown 3 touchdowns in the red zone this season, completing a league low of only 35%. So he has a ton of room to improve there, but Deontay has caught 2 of those passes that he was targeted in the end zone, and he's had the most red zone targets this season. So Deontay could score here. Now we're going to the late game. We're at the final game of the day. If you guys have enjoyed the stream or if you've enjoyed the insight, make sure to leave a like on the stream. It's the easiest way to show your support and love. Audio is off from the visual. What do you elaborate? Is this the same video from earlier? What? What are we yapping about, Austin? This is live. This is not, I'm just reading stats from that play. But we've gone over pretty much everything. We've gone over every game, so you can scroll back and you can look at this. I got Tolbert in DraftKings lineup. Yeah, that's a dub. That's a dub. If you have a Tolbert in your DraftKings lineup, he should cook. Monty over 14 attempts feels great as well. I would lean that as well. I think it could be a good split, though, but I think they're going to run the ball a ton. They're going to control the clock against Dallas. So I'm definitely leaning that side. I think Detroit wins that game. Oh, I didn't go over the spread of that. I've gone over the spread the past 2 games. Carolina's -6.5. I think Atlanta still wins. I think we fucking stink. I think go 6.5 Carolina. Detroit's -3. I'm taking Detroit -3. I'm taking the favorites there. I don't think the Cowboys get it done. They are struggling right now, so I'm going to lean the Detroit Lions -3. I think they run the ball a ton. 52.5 is the over-under. Like, you want to take the higher. And I think I would. I think I would take the higher, 52.5. Audio is fine. All right. Jake just trolling. YouTube was just being dumb. Fair. I'll text Nick about the slip for the 80 League Mates to get him updated on that as well, so we can get that done as easy and fast as possible. He should have the slip up. It's like fucking 4:30 right now, so maybe he just needs to update it because sometimes like when you place it, it won't update in the app. So maybe he just needs to update it in the app, but. Yeah, that's what I'm taking for now. Then the Sunday night plays, I haven't posted anywhere yet, but you guys can get it here because you're here live, so dub you guys. My Sunday night plays that I am leaning towards, that I don't have them placed yet, but I'm going to place them probably right after this stream, so you guys can place them too. I'm taking Jamar Chase, 75.5 receiving yards. You kind of have to right now. He's been absolutely cooking. Obviously, hit this past 3 of his 3 games, averaging over 100 yards. In those games, only 1 game of like 84 receiving yards. We can actually pull up the props.cash for him right now to get a better look real quick. Jamar right here. You can get him at 74.5 on FanDuel. I'm going to take him 75.5 on Underdog. Yeah, he's averaging over this past 3 games. The past 5 games, 98.6, but you can look at the past 3, and it's a good over 100 and about 120. So he's cooking right there. The Giants defense is very middle of the pack for us to pass. But, again, he's going to be matched up versus Deontay Banks, who looked really promising last game. Did really well. But now this is Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, who have no defense. And I think DJ can do some damage on the other side of the ball. So I think they're going to have to play some back and forth here. I think the over feels great at 46.5, and I'm definitely leaning Cincinnati to cover. I think Cincinnati wins. I don't think they go 1-5, and I think it's going to be a big part due to the best duo right now in all of football. And Burrow's just playing out of his fucking mind. Like, he's playing like Drew Brees right now, where he's going to throw for like damn near 5K. It's nuts. So if he keeps any of that up, we're taking Jamar Chase all day. I also do love T. Higgins' receptions at 4.5. I think he could also feast. But what we are also going to take, they don't have it right now, but it would be Devin Singletary. Now, what the hell was I also taking? Hold on, let me pull it up, because I had him written down. Okay. Yeah, so the other bet I did have was another Cincinnati bet here. Zach Moss, we're going lower on rushing yards. He's coming back from an ankle injury. Everyone didn't think he was going to play, but he's going to play. I think the ankle injury is definitely going to wear on him a little bit. Chase Brown is going to play. He's in as of right now, so I think these backs are going to get a little bit lighter of a load since they're both banged up. And I'm more worried about Zach being re-injured with it being an ankle injury and a high ankle. Bets never show besides him fading the Saints. It's just a cone on Pickett. Facts. I like the over New England wide receivers over yards. Drake made my cook. Really? Versus Houston defense? Interesting. I got Tyrone Tracy over 8 fantasy points before they took him off the board. Banking on Singletary not playing. Ooh. With Singletary playing, I don't know if I love that. But I will lean Zach Moss lower. I think Chase Brown's going to take a big chunk of that workload. And this Giants defense, surprisingly, hasn't been that bad versus the run. They've led the 4th fewest rushing attempts and the 12th fewest rushing yards. And the Cincinnati offense has not been able to run the ball for fucking dick. So makes me feel great about the Zach Moss under. Now for the Giants play, we're going to take Wan'Dale Robinson, higher than 9 targets. I like this reception line as well. I think he's just going to look at this shit. Just look at this. Hold on real quick. I got to pull it up. Where is Wan'Dale? Right here. Look at Wan'Dale's targets, dude. It's fucking nuts. 12, and this is with Malik. And even this is with Malik. And even without Malik, it's still 9. Like, it's fucking nuts. He's a target hog without Malik Neighbors. Even with Malik Neighbors, like, they just feed him the fucking rock for 9 catches for 30 yards at the line of scrimmage every single time. Yeah, he's going to just continue to hit over this mark and his receiving mark. Receptions at 6.5. I would take that all day, every day. He's going to get peppered with targets. No Malik Neighbors. The Cincinnati defense is horrible against the pass. So easily smashing that. I'm going to be placing like all these bets right after this. So you'll see those refreshed on Pickett as well. And again, if you missed the minus 500 play, it is Trevor Lawrence it's Trevor Lawrence at 150 passing yards. And DJ Moore at 25 receiving yards. That's what we're taking. So make sure you lock in. Tune in for that. That's all I got for you today. Give you 8 picks that are my locked-in picks. Gave you a little preview of every game as well. So we're over every game. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way out. Make sure that's the best way to show your support. So I appreciate all of you guys being here, as always. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys on Monday. Before the Monday stream, or for the Monday stream when we go over Monday night's plays. What is that game? Isn't it Jets? Yeah. Jets Buffalo? Huh, jeez. Yeah, I gotta cook up plays for that too. Yeah, I gotta be in the lab later tonight figuring that out. I don't know what I like off the top of the dome. Lean Kincaid, but that's like all I got off the top of the head. All right. I got Trev on lower on passing. Oh, but it was normal line. Yeah, sure. That's fine. But 150, he should be able to smash. He owns London. So we're banking on that. Appreciate you guys. As always, if you need to go back and rewatch anything, you can go back and rewatch this a ton. It's not a ton of love. Yeah, the Monday game does stink. Winner of Jets Buffalo gets Devontae Adams. Nah, literally. A lot riding on the line. I love the value on HEB touchdown. I said that earlier that if I'm going to take a touchdown, it's going to be on A.J. Brown for that game. So 100% agree on that. But yeah, we're going to slam those. Make sure you guys watch the other video if you need to go back and relook at plays and whatnot. And you can always message me on Twitter as well if you have questions. And I try to get back to all of you as fast as possible.